While concentrating on themselves and their problems, people usually drive themselves into a terrible depression because of things which are not really worth it. If you know that you like to whine and be sad, then this video is for you. Why? Because we have collected a selection of people who, despite the fact that they have every right to whine, be sad, and cry from despair, live with a proudly raised head as well as smile and go against fate. Today, we are going to see many courageous people who are not really guilty of their problems. At the same time, they will do their best to overcome even the most complex obstacles. I hope that after watching it, you will take a fresh look at your wonderful life and realize that your problems are not that huge. Bathsheba Borun was born with her heart outside. However, despite the real difficulties, she lives a full life. According to her doctors, it's a pure miracle. Famous experts from all around the world were sure that Bathsheba was not even destined to be born, but the girl not only saw the light of day, but lives an amazing life, which fortunately, her parents managed to give her. While she was still inside her mother, Bathsheba did not form some muscles, which led to the fact that her heart is located outside the chest. It is protected only by a thin layer of skin, so the girl must wear special protection for life since the slightest damage can lead to a fatal outcome. No matter what, Bathsheba Borun lives an active lifestyle and even works as a model. Parents try to make their daughter's life complete in every possible way. They wanted to raise a happy person, and they succeeded. Mohammed Kaleem is a 13-year-old boy from India who was born with a rare disease. This child has hands of incredible size. In addition, his hands weigh 8 kilograms, and recently, Mohammed even had to leave school because it became simply impossible to continue studying with such hands. But the worst part is that Kaleem's hands are still growing. It is unclear what will happen to the boy soon. Stan Larkin's life experience is very different from ours. You can't even think about things which happened to this guy. Stan Larkin was born in a family where heart problems are more the norm than pathology. Therefore, already by the age of 23, his heart stopped beating, and then he had a Sync Arcadia device implanted. This guy supported his life until he was able to find a donor's heart. The device, which works like an artificial heart, was strapped to his back and worked for 555 days. Larkin still got a new heart in 2016 at the age of 25. Nick Vujicic is a man who, despite everything, was able to become a truly happy person. Nick Vujicic was born without arms and without legs, but he managed to live a full life. He also managed to find himself a profession, get married, raise 4 children, and become someone who inspires and motivates people from all around the world. Nick Vujicic enjoys life in a way that no one else can. He travels and conducts seminars where he forces people to change their lives for the better. This person had to struggle from the very beginning of his life, but Nick managed to pull himself together and change everything in his life. Isaiah Acosta is one of the few children in the world born with an inverted body position. This is a condition in which all the major organs are in the wrong place. He also doesn't have a lower jaw. When Isaiah Acosta was born, the doctors told his mother that her son would not survive the night, but the boy managed to cheat death. Despite all the difficulties, he lives a hard but happy life and is even seriously engaged in rap music. Jessica Cox is a girl who was born without both hands as a result of a rare birth defect. She is known as the first person in the world without hands to become a licensed airplane pilot. Jessica is also the owner of a black belt in Taekwondo. It would seem that fate is predetermined, but it's not the case. Jessica Cox is a perfect example of how even the most insurmountable difficulties can be successfully left in the past. If a girl without hands could become a pilot, then you can definitely figure out your problems. Tilly Lockey often calls herself a cyborg girl because of her mechanical hands. At the age of 15 months, the girl was diagnosed with a severe diagnosis, but her parents refused to believe it and did everything so that their daughter lived and enjoyed her life. The vital energy of adults was transferred to the girl, and she began to fight for the right to be happy. What can I say? We have a teenager with a myriad of problems, but she smiles more often and sincerely than well-off adults. Mandy Sellars is 36 and she suffers from such a rare disease that doctors have not been able to make an accurate diagnosis. Mandy was born with legs that already exceeded all norms at birth, but the most frightening thing is that they continued to grow disproportionately. As you can see, it brings a lot of difficulties to a young woman. This young and beautiful girl is doomed to a physically difficult and sometimes unbearable life. Mandy is genuinely surprised that her peers led a sedentary lifestyle because if she had the opportunity, running in the morning would be her favorite routine. Caleb Mutombo is a guy with a weight of 32 kilograms and a height of 113 centimeters. Even thinking of him causes sadness, but it's not the case, because admiration and pride for this person are more appropriate here. Born with a defect, he became a bodybuilder, even though the smallest in the world, a swimmer, an inspiration, and a truly good person. Just look at the person who has really good reasons not to visit the gym at all. Monica Riley weighs 320 kilograms and is not going to stop. There was a time when this girl could not lose weight and therefore decided to gain it. What for? To become the fattest woman in the world. It sounds quite absurd because in addition to this proud title, a whole bunch of health problems and the inability to live a full life are attached. Sultan Kosin is the tallest man in the world. His height is 252 centimeters. Because of such a specific appearance, he has to order tailored clothes and shoes, although this is the least of his problems. Such a height causes many diseases. Doctors have to use increased doses and unique approaches since Sultan can't be treated in a regular way. Megan Gann is not a pretty little girl, but a woman who suffers from a rare kind of dwarfism. As of today, no more than 40 similar cases have been registered. Megan's height is only 100 centimeters, but this does not prevent her from teaching in elementary school. Duong Jae was lucky enough to become not just the owner of the largest hands in the world, but also the only girl of her kind with such an incurable pathology. Nadia Lauricella was born with Phocomelia syndrome, that is, without fully formed limbs and body. The doctors did not believe that the girl would live to be 5 years old, but Nadia surprised everyone. Not only did she not die so early, but the girl also lived a full life. Sports, work, social networks, and even her first love. She's doing great in all aspects. Stephen Ludwig suffers from a severe bone disease, but he decided to choose an active, rich, and fulfilling life. In addition, he did not regret it for a day. While working hard in a gym, he managed to create a strong muscular frame. He took more than one course of strengthening the body with doctors and even came up with special shoes for himself. Someone is too lazy to get out of bed, and someone does everything so that it is possible for him to wake up the next morning. Pollyanna Hope lives with one leg and one prosthesis, but this did not stop the strong-willed girl from realizing her dream of becoming a ballerina. Tiffany is a professional dancer with a height of just over 1 meter. She has a curved spine, deformed ribs, displaced internal organs, and many concomitant diseases, which did not become an insurmountable obstacle on the way to the cherished goal. She always wanted to dance, and what stands in the way of your dream? Pradek has a height of only 102 centimeters, and he is the shortest competitive bodybuilder in the whole world. Today, he is recognizable and respected, but 5 years ago, he was despised and ridiculed by everyone. The long, hard, and thorny path was full of disappointments, failures, and falls. But Time has passed, and looking back, Craddock can say with confidence that it was worth it. Zion Clark is a wrestler without legs. The guy suffers from caudal regression syndrome, a dangerous genetic disease when the spinal cord and all the underlying limbs and organs cease to develop at the level of the sacrum. Clark grew up without legs, was despised, had no friends, constantly complained and whined, but at one point he said to himself, "Enough, no more excuses," and after adding this caption on his back, he began to live fully. This fateful decision marked the beginning of a grueling training, which led to an amazing result. Today, Zion is a worthy wrestler in his weight category, a successful businessman, a motivator, and just a strong personality from whom you and I definitely have something to learn. Lauren Wasser is a girl with golden legs. Initially, after the operation, Lauren locked herself in a room and fell into a terrible depression. But a little later, she wiped her tears and decided to live the brightest life. Cancer was able to hit Tina Hayat Earls' nose, but not her fighting spirit. When a 43-year-old girl from Texas was diagnosed with a terrible diagnosis, she made a difficult decision and agreed to a complete nose removal for the sake of living her life. At first, Tina was worried about how she would be perceived by others and wore a prosthesis despite the pain and inconvenience that it caused. But thanks to the support of a loving husband and children, as well as her incredible determination and confidence, Tina was able to accept herself as she is. She is happy even without a nose. Kenneth Brumley weighed almost 500 kilograms, which is why he was bedridden for 4 years, until his wife signed him up as a participant on a well-known TV show in America, where Brumley was able to perform drastic changes. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. You need to appreciate your life, smile often, and not concentrate on the temporary and less important things.